Hey, Guru Nation, I got another stock that we're looking at today. It's actually a follow up to a previous stock that I've been looking at a few months ago, Senseonics, symbol SENS. We're going to get into a few articles, one of them hosted by my own Latinos in Clinical Research. Shameless plug there. This is a stock that is pending FDA approval for an implantable continuous glucose monitoring system, CGM. They are already approved for 90 days in the US. They were approved in 2018. And I'm going to compare that study with the study that just ended for the 180 days. So you're going from changing the implant every quarter to twice a year. And there's people that are expecting the stock to or this product to get approved by the FDA around October 15th. It could happen earlier. Just something I wanted to state, this is not financial advice. I actually, to be honest with you, I do not own any SENS, but I am thinking about possibly getting in just some, whatever I'm comfortable losing, because while I personally do, and here's the spoiler alert, while I do think it will get approved, if it doesn't, it's going to be really bad for the stock. If it does, I do think we're going to see an increase in the stock price. Obviously, it's trading just under $4. It's like at 360 right now. We're going to look at the stock. If it does get approved, I think we could see like $6, maybe a little higher. The real thing that people are waiting for is the 365-day one. But so the fact that in the scenario where it doesn't get approved, we have to really reconsider the 365-day implant, because obviously that's now off the table. And I think the bottom, obviously the stock could fall a lot lower than it can rise. So in that sense, it's risky. But I'm going to I don't want to prove to you anything. You guys need to do your own due diligence. But I just think it's interesting. Okay, $1.63 billion market cap. It's a big market cap for a company that only has a little bit of sales, no PE ratio, negative 1.7 earnings per share. So you go on Latinos in Clinical Research, you click on making sense of Senseonics. We do so much on this show. By the way, subscribe to my other channel, the Clinical Research Circle. Tomorrow we are interviewing the CEO of Lineage Cell Therapeutics, Brian Cully. They got some interesting stuff too for macular degeneration. So stock rises and falls as FDA approval is pending. Diabetes is huge. The market for diabetic care is growing fast. The disease is among the top 10 causes of death. Really interesting. On CNBC yesterday, the CEO of Medtronic came out. They're the leader in medical devices. Came out and said on the show, we are behind on diabetes, meaning we, Medtronic. So I don't know, maybe potential buyout candidate right there. Senseonics, Medtronics fits right in. I don't know. That's some positive stuff that I can tell you there. The EverSense system, which is the prescription device that has to be implanted and removed, is currently approved in US and Europe. However, the implant can only stay in a person for 90 days. Then the patient has to visit the medical care professional again for removal and insertion. Senseonics has filed for FDA approval to increase the implant's life to 180 days. If approved, it would reduce the need to visit healthcare professionals by half. FDA approval was anticipated in the first half of 2021, and Senseonics said that it expected to post revenues between 12 million and 15 million in 2021. Again, Morgan Stanley has been loading up since August. State Street, so a lot of institutional investors here have been buying. On August 9th, which was not that long ago, Senseonics reported financial results. The company generated second quarter revenue of 3.3 million. Ascensia, which is launched the U.S. Patient Assistance Program, reducing out-of-pocket costs to support all diabetes. They're the ones managing the sales. The company raised 50 million in gross proceeds through completion of at-the-market equity. So according to Tim Goodnow, PhD, president and CEO, In the second quarter, we made progress driving increased patient and provider awareness of SENS through a targeted direct-to-consumer digital advertising campaign. It was trading around 460. If we look at the chart, let's look 6 months. At the high of the pump from memes, 414, now it's 366. So will the FDA approval for a CGM product have an impact? I believe it will, but the real value add is going to be at the 365 days. So this is just another step in the right direction to the inevitable, but also could be a step towards a buyout, as we saw Medtronic CEO on CNBC earlier. Is it risky? They say the risk reward doesn't look favorable. Now with SENS down from those levels, let's revisit. First, Senseonics is a risky stock to invest in. I agree. Like I said at the beginning, it could fall a lot farther than it can go up. We take the stairs up and the elevator down with this one, but that doesn't mean it's likely to go down. I actually think, and we're going to see the data, spoiler alert, but I do think it's going to get approved. So I actually wanted to show the two press release. Okay, this is the two press release from Senseonics. The first one is from 2016, almost to the date, August 9th. It's 24th now. August 9th, 2016, when it got approval for 90 days. All right, it got approval for 90 days in 2016, and that then it was trading at 390, and then it dipped. So let's look at the max. Let's go even further. December 2015, 325, got approval in August, 390. See, this is taking the stairs up, escalator down. Everybody was actually looking for 180. Now we're looking for 365. So don't expect that much if it does get approved. Although, because it is a meme stock, like I said, I think $7 might be reasonable for this stock. But let's look. Top line accuracy. MARD, the mean absolute relative difference over 90 days. It was 8.8%. The difference between the data from Senseonics implantable over 90 days compared to traditional glucose checks, the gold standard, which is pricks, finger pricks, and you check. All right, results from 90 adults with diabetes generated over 16,000 comparative glucose data points and strong accuracy with a mean absolute relative difference of 8.8 across the range. So according to the PI of this study, the accuracy result is quite significant with the device. This was an important study, and we're thankful to all the patients and clinics who participated. The early results show that this system can be an important treatment option. Having a long-lasting 90-day CGM sensor that is safe and accurate will all be a welcome addition. So that was the 2016 top line results. Now, go 5 years later, June 3rd, the results demonstrating strong accuracy after 180 days. All right, the overall MARD is between 8.5 to 9.1%, depending on the kind of sensor. It was actually a little less accurate, just slightly. It was 8.8 mean absolute relative difference for the 90-day. And over here, it was 9.1% for the primary sensor, over 49,000 paired points, and 8.5% MARD for the SBA sensor, which is a different sensor. It's a little bit different chemistry in that sensor. Confirmed hypoglycemic alert detection rate was 93% for primary sensor and 94% for SBA sensor. In the hypoglycemic ranges, the agreement rates were 89.4 and 92.2 for the primary sensor, and 96.5 and 96.8 for the SBA. We are very pleased with the results. The SBA sensors were subsequently included in the pre-market submissions. So the results are comparable. It may be a little less, like for the primary sensor, maybe a little less accurate, but I don't think that's enough for the FDA to say, no, this is not approved. What do you think, guys? I mean, logic would tell us if they approved it with 8.8, they're going to approve it with 9.1, and then with the other sensor, which was included in the submission, 8.5. I'm hearing October might come around. October 15th. The FDA has been backlogged with COVID. Anything related to COVID, the only thing other than COVID they've been really emphasizing has been orphan disease. There's obviously a huge need for this. I don't think the FDA cannot approve it based on safety. There's no different safety issues and efficacy, only slight difference in efficacy. Still, anything's possible, but I think FDA will approve. I'm not a financial, this is not financial advice. Fierce Biotech wrote an article on this as well, basically saying the same thing. As we await hearing from the US and European regulatory agencies concerning our pre-market submission of data for both the primary and secondary sensors, we're pleased to continue to offer the Eversense CGM systems in both the US and Europe at 90-day. So the secondary sensor, employing a different chemistry and used by fewer participants, was also tested. It demonstrated an average difference of 8.5. So similar efficacy. I think it gets approved. As you've seen in 2016, it didn't jump that high when it did get approved. I think a lot of it might be priced in. A lot of the hype, this should not be a $1.6 billion market cap, at least right now. Maybe once 180 is approved, more, obviously it's going to be more. It's going to be like $2 billion. Maybe a buyout with Medtronics, and then really that 365-day. That's what they're going for. But that's going to be another couple of years for that to occur. So everything in steps, not without risk at all. Could fall a lot further than it could go up. But I think using logic, the odds are in our favor here. So I'm not an investor. This is not advice. Do your own due diligence. Somebody really look under the hood of clinicaltrials.gov and try to find a reason why it won't. One thing you can argue is maybe the payers, right? Maybe they won't pay for it because if there's already a 90-day, why would they pay extra for 180-day when the patients can just go to the doctor every quarter instead of twice a year? That's an argument. That's a fair argument, but that's an argument on sales. I don't think the sales for the 180-day sensor is factored in projected sales. Right now, we're just looking at projected approval or not. And so I think an argument against it might be, well, will doctors actually prescribe this? Will payers actually pay for this? If there's 90-day, will they cover 180-day? And how much of the coupons can they do for the people who really need it but can't afford it? Because I imagine it's going to be more expensive than the 90-day. Maybe somebody knows that information. But at the end of the day, the stock price doesn't reflect those sales right now. It's not even reflecting. Maybe it's reflecting a little bit of the approval. So let me know what you think about this. Leave it in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. And make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. If you don't have anything to comment, put a robot. It helps shatter the algorithms. Thank you very much. Talk to you guys later. Good luck. Do your own homework. Due diligence is what matters. Learning is what matters. Catch you later.